What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. A couple of nights back, Joe and Anthony Russo, the directors of Infinity War and the upcoming Avengers 4, sat down with a theater full of people, did a huge question and answer following Collider's screening of Infinity War. No Avengers 4 trailer, no Avengers 4 title, and Avengers 4 questions were strictly off the table. They got that out of the way early. But the answers to some of the questions they gave were not only amazing, but answers to direct theories that have been floating around on YouTube since Infinity War's release. Before we get into all of them, break it all down, if you could, grab the subscribe button. I'm giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel-related stuff, especially in the month of December, which starts tomorrow. All you have to do to enter to win all of it is hit the subscribe button, leave a like and a comment on this video, and I'll get into all the giveaway stuff again at the end of the video. Now, since the question and answer was so long, there's no way we can break it all down. And quite honestly, some of the questions and answers just weren't that interesting. Guys, you had weeks to come up with questions to ask Joe and Anthony Russo. But some of the questions asked are exactly the same questions I would have asked. So let's start with the biggest one. Is Loki dead? No doubt the Russos have seen all of the conjecture. He's either posing as Dr. Banner and that's why he can't transfer into the Hulk, or he was actually in the background of the scene and that was just a projection. The Russos had no problem telling us Loki is dead. The scene photos from Avengers 4 that have leaked have him on the set during the Battle of New York, but this is either going to be barfing technology, time travel, or other quantum realm alternative reality shenanigans, because he is for sure dead. The second question I want to get into is a personal fan favorite and has to do with a theory I put forth at the channel within the last month. Based on the leaked artwork of what could have been a second Stormbreaker, I put forth a theory that Beta Ray Bill could show up in Avengers 4 or possibly should have been in Infinity War. And it turns out I was half right. He was supposed to be in Infinity War. In some of the earliest drafts for the stories and scripts, Beta Ray Bill was going to be in Infinity War, but because of the length and breadth of the movie and the amount of ground they had to cover in the main characters' story arcs, there wasn't enough time for him. And I like that Marvel's been doing this. This was the same case with Beta Ray Bill and Ragnarok and Taika Waititi's script. The deal is that if they can't do a character justice, they just don't do him at all. And that is the way to go. It also means that Beta Ray Bill has been on the foreground of outside characters that could work their way in, and I have been dying to see him in the MCU. So awesome, guys. That is like my favorite answer of the whole night, to be totally honest. All right, that leads us right into the third question. And someone asked about the TV properties and how those characters play a role or could ever play a role in the MCU. And they confirmed also that they tried to work Daredevil and the other Netflix characters in New York into the Infinity War script. But for the same reason that I just put forth about Beta Ray Bill, they just could not find a way to make it make sense and actually have those characters done justice rather than short cameos. And then even in the sense of the movie, there's only so much screen time, only so much dialogue to go around. So they said that wasn't going to work for those characters and they decided to leave it be, which makes sense. There's no reason to cram unwanted things or unnecessary things that don't make sense into a movie. DC, looking at you. Now, the next question I found very interesting and super important is why Hulk lost to Thanos. Again, they had been asked this question earlier in the year, but like I said, we've got enough room between us and Infinity War now where I think they feel more comfortable answering some of the finer ambiguities. And this, for me, is something I've covered at the channel extensively. Hulk versus Thanos, circular storytelling, starting off Infinity War with Hulk's loss to end Avengers 4 with Hulk's revenge, having Hulk not come out so that they could merge them in the next movie per Professor Hulk. And that's basically what the Russos confirmed. Hulk lost to Thanos not because he was using the Power Stone. He wasn't. The reason Hulk lost to Thanos, or rather the reason Thanos beat the Hulk, was he was able to outsmart and outthink him. Again, this is coming directly from the directors Anthony and Joe Russo about this conflict, and that Hulk didn't come back out again because he's only wanted when the fighting's there. Leading into the indirect confirmation for Avengers 4, we are going to see Professor Hulk, that when Hulk does come back, it won't just be the single-minded angry smash, it'll be Hulk's power and strength paired with Dr. Banner's intelligence, which is going to be awesome, and I certainly can't wait. Okay, the next question I thought was super, super interesting was about the Guardians of the Galaxy. We all know that James Gunn got fired earlier in the year. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 got put on hold, the movie that was supposed to set up this cosmic universe. And there were, I want to say, more than a couple of rumors. I think Dave Bautista even hinted at this in one interview. He said, I'm in a lot of scenes. I hope I'm still in them in Avengers 4. It's very interesting that everyone thought all of a sudden this was getting rewritten, but they already confirmed, literally this is what they said. We had already shot most of the movie, minus the reshoots, of course. We had already shot most of the movie when James Gunn got fired. So that didn't change the Guardians of the Galaxy's character stories in our movies at all, which is awesome news. I'm so super glad that Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios didn't knee-jerk react and feel like they had to rewrite those characters' parts to somehow make sense of why Guardians of the Galaxy 3 wasn't going to work out. Kevin Feige is not a novice at this. He may have been when they started, but they have learned a ton of things along the way in these last 10 years. They've had to fire directors. They've had to recast main actors. They've definitely faced some adversity over this meteoric run to success. And I think over those last 10 years, they've probably learned enough about where their weaknesses were. So I would have been super shocked if they had done this in the first place, but it seemed to come from so many sources. Really thought they were going to do that, and I'm super happy they didn't. So for all of you guys who were worried about somehow Avengers 4 fundamentally changing its storyline because some of the integral Guardians characters were going to have new story rewrites, that is total nonsense, and it's totally going to be all right. Another thing they answered, which I thought was interesting because they kind of had already answered it, but they added to their answer here, was about Red Skull. Now, earlier, about 2 months ago, in the same sort of setup, someone asked him a question about Red Skull and whether he died when the explosion happened or if he was still on Vermeer. And the Russos confirmed that Red Skull actually was freed. But during this question and answer, they also confirmed that he's a disembodied spirit. He's basically a ghost. So while he is free to go wherever he wants and is no longer chained to Vormir, he's still just a ghost. So the idea that Red Skull comes back as sort of like this embodied, formidable villain, which was an idea a lot of people had put forth, it just doesn't make sense now. He's still a ghost. So his ability to wreak havoc is limited, and he becomes more of an information source like they used him in Infinity War. And I thought that was kind of cool. Another thing that they brought up, which I thought is also super important because a lot of us may have misread this in Infinity War, is that Stormbreaker is not more powerful than the Infinity Gauntlet. The reason they said Thor was able to land that blow with Stormbreaker was that it was a surprise. Thanos did not know it was coming. Also, they confirmed Thanos hasn't mastered all of the stones yet. The verbiage they used was super interesting because it wasn't like they said, well, he just hasn't mastered the stones. They said he hadn't mastered the stones yet. Does that mean he's going to have mastered the stones by Avengers 4? What then? They couldn't beat him when he didn't have the stones mastered. How are they going to beat him when he does have the stones mastered? It's a question yet to be seen. However, Stormbreaker is not more powerful than the Infinity Gauntlet. The only way Thor was able to beat him there was with the element of surprise, and that puts to rest a lot of theories about Stormbreaker's strength, the Infinity Gauntlet's weaknesses, and where Thanos is at as far as being able to wield these stones. In that book, Titan Consumed, there's a lot of awesome backstory about Thanos. I strongly suggest you guys read it because I've started to form some of my own theories I'll be talking about later, how some of that backstory may come to play when he goes to use some of the stone's abilities and in this final battle versus the Avengers in Avengers 4. Now, the last question I'm going to get into regarding Captain America. Captain America's not done in the MCU? Okay, this is super important because everyone's pretty sure Chris Evans is going to die. That shouldn't be a spoiler to any of you because it's been probably the most common rumor on the internet over the last 60 days. Chris Evans had a very public, emotional farewell on Twitter to the MCU, thanking them sincerely and quote-unquote eternally Avengers Eternal, Avengers Eternal, eternally for the last 10 years. And the Russo said that he is not done with the MCU. What does that mean? Well, maybe we'll see him in something like Spider-Man Homecoming, where he is already recorded. Maybe we'll see him in flashbacks or predating movies like, probably not the Black Widow movie, but movies that may come in the MCU that predate his leaving. Or maybe, just maybe, he shows back up as a Skrull in Secret War, which is actually the last question I'm going to get into. Someone asked if the Russos would ever direct another Marvel movie again now that they are going to take a break from it. And they said, not until they're ready to do Secret Wars. Avengers 5, Avengers 6 and 7, Secret Wars, yes, please. We're going to have the X-Men and the Fantastic Four by then, and it is going to be absolutely nuts. I cannot wait for that. What? Go ahead and ship it now. I'll buy the tickets. Take my money, please. Avengers 7, Secret Wars, directed by the Russos, including, oh man, this is going to be so nuts. The MCU is going to be so nuts in 5 or 6 years. Who's ready for the Avengers 4 trailer? I am. Let's go. All right, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. For those of you who are still watching this video at the 11.5 minute mark, hooray for you. Okay, 2 PlayStation Pros, one at the 100, one at the 150,000 subscriber mark. This awesome Trendsetters limited edition, limited run, 2500 Avengers plaque containing 10 original film cells from the first Avengers movie. Can't find these for sale anymore because they've been sold out for a while. If you want to win the PlayStations or this, hit the subscribe button, leave a like and a comment on this video, then ding that notification bell so that you can keep up to date with my videos, because the more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Also, starting in the month of December, tomorrow, we will be doing giveaways every single week, and then the week of Christmas, we'll actually be doing giveaways every single day. 1 subscription gets you in for all of that. The more videos you comment on are your more entrants to win, because I use a random number generator to pick the video and the comment on the video that wins. It's that simple. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. Thanks for checking out the channel, and stick around because we'll be posting again real soon.